Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Warno dev blog, or should I just call it a launch blog, because this week it is all about the launch of Warno that has gone live out of early access today. Sorry if you missed out on early access, you have had 2 years to buy it. Their opening is Warno has officially launched out of early access. Muster your forces and get ready for battle. The time is now to lead your chosen units to victory in the late Cold War battlefields of Warno's World War III. Warno's launch will turn the page on 2 full years of development. Technically, it's been in development longer than that. That's a bit of a, mistake there that they've put just 2 years, because the game was in development before it launched into early access. Anyhow, they say it is the closing of a chapter, but only for the new one to open. We will continue to develop, improve, and create new content for Warno, including major new expansions, nations, divisions, units, and of course the Nemesis DLCs, and even more than that. They've worded this kind of poorly, so I'm going to reword it, but they want to remind everyone that the Warno Gold Edition is unavailable due to a technical issue they've encountered, but they will get it up as soon as possible. And while they mention it further on in a dev blog, I'm going to mention it here again. Anyone who did have the early access version will still get a discount on that Gold Edition when it goes live. They haven't forgotten that promise. So next up, they've included some facts and figures in picture form about early access. So Warno Early Access was just a little over 2 years, and it's easy to forget all the features and many divisions and the operations and Army General campaign and everything else that they've added over that time. Please enjoy the visual efforts of the UGen team. 2 years of early access, more than 100 dev blogs. This is very true. Is this 105? I have to check after I've recorded it. There's 100 tanks, 155 planes, 110 helicopters, 260 infantry types, 400 vehicles, and over 1,000 units already. 38 title soundtrack, including 5 originals. Obviously, most of the other ones that aren't the originals are copyrighted, so I can't play them. 5 Army General campaigns that range in length from a matter of hours to a matter of days or weeks, depending on how much auto-resolve you use. There have been 48 patches, 23 divisions have been added, and there have been 392 UK suffers. UGen leaning pretty hard into the joke there. 24 maps, 8 operations, 22 Napoleonic Marshal biographies. Have I really read out that many biographies? I sadly remember very little about most of them. Sorry, Mad Matt. And at the end here they have 6+1 countries. Okay, anyhow, on to the edition. So first you have the Warno Vanilla Edition, which comes with 5 Army General campaigns, 8 operations, 18 divisions, over 1,000 units, expertly researched, modelled, and voice-lined. This is their words, not mine, because the British voice lines still aren't great. 6 nations, the United States, West Germany, the UK, and France for NATO, and then the Soviet Union and East Germany for the Warsaw Pact, playable in multiplayer and skirmish, plus Belgium in Army General. They add in here there are extensive tutorials. I mean, there are tutorials. I'm not sure I would call them extensive, UGen. Don't get me wrong, it's a massive improvement over previous games. Plus, obviously, the full range of skirmish multiplayer and cooperative modes. Over to the Warno Gold Edition. For now, Warno Gold, which, as you correctly guessed, is missing in action. Unfortunately, while we moved mountains, we were unable to have the Steam page for this deluxe version of Warno ready for launch. Behind the scenes, we are very busy making sure it will be operational as soon as possible. And when the Gold Edition is available, the option for early access owners to upgrade to Gold with a healthy discount will be present. Once again, apologies from the whole UGen team. Okay, next up is the Early Access Pack. So for Early Access owners, automatically and freely available is a special Early Access Pack. This DLC contains divisions added as a thank you for your continued support during Warno's development. The Early Access Pack contains 5 extra divisions, the Berlin NATO's Command and Warsaw Pact's Berliner Gruppierung, and the 6th Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade, plus the US 24th Infantry Division Mechanized, and Warsaw Pact Soviet 27th Guards Motorized Rifle Division. This pack comes in at a price of $9.99, €9.99, or £8.99, which I think is overpriced for the UK. Because at current conversion rates, it should be more like £8 to £8.50 maximum. French bias strikes again. Anyhow, the next heading is Warno's launch update. Warno's launch out of early access means a host of updates, improvements, and bug fixes. Ranked has been reset as well, so what else can you expect? As we've mentioned a few times now, the Warrior Applique for the British 1st Armoured, and the new Saracen and Saladin for the British 2nd Infantry. There have been zone reworks on various maps. Artillery has been reworked with some notable changes, including howitzers deal slightly more damage but will have a lowered rate of fire across the board, and dispersion spread adjustments for mortars, howitzers and MLRS units. Updated tooltips and more straightforward UI text, new weapons and other descriptions. And more. There are some patch notes, I won't be reading them out because they are ridiculously long. A reminder again, the SD League are preparing some tournaments, the Warno Super League 1.0, which will be kicking off as 1-day or 2-day tournaments on the 1st and 2nd of June, and then there will be Warno League Season 1 that is based off the well-tested Steel Division 2 League formula, with up to 64 players put into 4 different skill levels, so everyone has a chance of getting involved. Next up we have their closing statement, and for once I'm actually going to read it out because it is quite a nice sentiment. Let's go to war. It's titled, "That's it for today's devblog, Commander. Warno and the UGen team have completed a long journey in partnership with you, the player. We truly appreciate your support and passionate feedback that made Warno a better game. But we will not rest on our laurels. Warno's development continues at pace. So, as always, make sure to tune back in for next week's devblog." And now they say, "See you on the battlefield, Commander." By the way, side note, as at the time I'm recording this, UGen IGZ, one of the UGen devs, is top on the ranked leaderboard. Get in there and knock him off, people. We can't have a Frenchman at the top of the ladder. Thanks as ever for joining me. I'll see you all soon.